Greetings everyone, and welcome to another video. My name is Oostenbrugge, and I am the Executive Director for the Institute of Certified Professional Managers, also known as ICPM. Today I want to talk about nonverbal communication, because it's one of those management topics that almost everyone thinks they understand, and very few people actually use it well. Most managers have heard that nonverbal communication is important. Many have also heard that it makes up most of the communication. The idea gets repeated so often that people stop thinking about what it really means. Here's the reality. Nonverbal communication does not replace what you say. It does not do the job for you. It either supports your words or it quietly works against them. Your tone, your posture, your facial expressions, your pace, and even your silence all sends signals. Those signals don't explain the message. They tell people whether the message feels real, safe, or worth trusting. If body language alone worked, management would be simple. We wouldn't need coaching, conversations, performance reviews, or difficult discussions. We would just walk into the room, look serious, and expect results. That's not how people work. One reason nonverbal communication is underused is because managers are busy. They focus on problem solving, making decisions, and moving quickly. They think about what they need to say, but not how they are showing up while they say it. Think about how often managers talk while standing half-turned towards the screen, checking email, glancing at a phone, or watching the clock. None of that is intentional, but all of it is noticed. People may not say anything about it, but they feel it. Here's a simple example. Manager says, "This is open for discussion. I want your input." But they're sitting back, arms crossed, voice tight, eyes fixed on their notes. Technically, the right words were used. Practically, the room just closed. People believe what they see more than what they hear. At the same time, nonverbal communication is often given too much power. Managers are told to read body language, read the room, trust their gut. That sounds useful until it turns into guessing. Crossed arms always don't mean resistance. Silence doesn't always mean agreement. Looking away doesn't always mean disinterest. Sometimes people are tired. Sometimes they're thinking. Sometimes they're nervous. When managers decide what something means without checking, they stop managing and start making stories up in their heads. And stories are not facts. Strong managers treat nonverbal communication as information, not proof. They notice patterns over time, not one moment in a meeting. They pay attention to changes, not single reactions. And when something feels off, they ask instead of assuming. They also pay closer attention to their own behavior. They know that when conversations get tense, their tone matters more than their words. They know that filling silence too fast can shut people down. They know that small reactions, even unplanned ones, send big messages. Think about what happens when someone brings you bad news. Before you say anything, your face reacts. A sigh, a pause, a raised eyebrow. These small moments tell people whether it's safe to speak honestly next time. And over time, that shapes culture. Good managers don't try to control every gesture. Their focus is on being present. They slow down. They listen fully. They stay open even when they disagree. They keep their reaction steady, especially when stakes are high. This is not acting. It's awareness. This is where experience shows up in management. Knowing when silence helps and when it creates pressure. Knowing when calm matters more than energy. Knowing when to lean forward and when to give space. Those are learned skills. They come from reflection, practice, and feedback. They are not personality traits, and they are not instincts. When nonverbal communication is handled poorly, it creates confusion, mixed signals, and loss of trust. When it's handled well, it creates clarity, confidence, and credibility. People don't just listen to what managers say, they watch how it's said, and they decide whether it feels genuine. If you want your communication skills, including how you show up as manager, to be recognized as professional competencies, I'd encourage you to visit icpm.net today. There you can learn more about the Certified Supervisor and the Certified Management certifications and have your management skills validated, not just assumed. Because in management, how you communicate often matters just as much as what you say.